Audience? Okay.
What if I told you that only 6% of the people in this room are intelligent? When you first hear that, you might either be offended or think, well, that definitely cannot be true. But according to frequently asked questions about giftededucation.com, only 6 out of every 100 students in our American school system is considered gifted. Other words for gifted are skilled, bright, accomplished, talented, clever, and of course, intelligent. The term gifted is given to children who successfully complete a series of tests starting in kindergarten. By placing the word gifted and assigning that to a strategic number of children, it puts out a message that if you are not part of this group, you are not smart. Which is not true. These titles affect every single student that enters the school system in America, and it's locking up the potential within students who do not fit this mold. The gifted programs starting in elementary school are harmful to our society and our future. They do this by telling students who are not parallel to that specific form of intelligence that they will not be successful, because the successful students have already been chosen for them. Therefore, today I'm going to discuss why programs like the Gifted program limit students, cultivate a fear of failure, anxiety, and are unfair to students who do not come from a household that has already given the tools for their education. The Gifted program is a problem for all children. For those kids in these programs, they feel an immense amount of pressure to succeed and to be perfect in all areas of education. According to a TED Talk I watched called What I Learned as an Ex-Gifted Child, she said that she constantly would feel like she had to reach perfection, even though she didn't feel that different from her peers. The children who are left out, however, of these programs are indirectly told that they are not good enough to hold this special label. These children might not have a family that taught them how to read from a young age, and we can see here that the statistics prove that race and income heavily affect the age that you learn to read. Only 14% of Latino children and 10% of African American children can read proficiently by the 3rd grade. And that all changes when 58% of white children are able to read proficiently by the 3rd grade. Both middle school and high school honor classes are necessary. However, when you start at such a young age where you cannot even read yet and decide that these are going to be the successful ones, you are limiting us as a society. The results of these problems are immense. Most gifted children admit that they have a fear of failure. If some of the greatest minds in our country are scared of failing, are scared of messing up, asking the questions that need to be asked, and persevering, then that should be concerning to all of us. If they are going to struggle in the future if they have not learned how to mess up and move forward from that mistake. Children who ask the questions and persevere and are okay with failure will get further than these children because they do not know how to mess up and continue. As a child, you are constantly divided between white and black and white statements, such as I'm good at sports or I'm bad at sports. Instead of saying, well, I struggle with keeping track of the ball, but with practice, dedication, and hard work, I can get better. These programs do the same thing unintentionally. They say, well, you are an intelligent child and you are not as intelligent. And these blanket statements are very harmful. It seems like these programs are made to keep the children who come in first place and the other children behind them. This also brings up placing children into boxes. If you were to tell a child that by working hard they could succeed and get better, then they might work harder. I was given an opportunity to be part of a program where you had to reach a certain grade point average. The first year I applied, I did not make it into this program, but because I knew there was a goal that I was capable of reaching, I was able to get that the next year. So there are 9 types of intelligence by Howard Gardner. And I'm going to discuss a little bit of those because we each are intelligent in our own different ways. A naturalist intelligent is someone who is nature smart. Someone like a chef or a botanist or a farmer might hold that type of intelligence. Musical intelligence is someone that is sound smart, can discern pitch and rhythm and timbre and tune. And that person might be a composer, a vocalist. Existential intelligence is someone who is life smart. They have a sensitivity and capacity to tackle deep questions about the human existence, such as a philosopher or a theorist. Logical mathematical intelligence is someone who is number/reasoning smart. And these jobs might be given to programmers, accountants, mathematicians, etc. Interpersonal intelligence is someone that is people smart. They are very good at communication, such as a counselor or someone who works in social work. Body kinesthetic intelligence is someone who is body smart, and they use a variety of physical skills in order to succeed in their path, such as a dancer, a firefighter, an athlete. Linguistic intelligence is someone who is word smart. They think in words and they use language to understand complex meanings in our society, such as a journalist, a novelist, or a poet. Interpersonal intelligence is someone who is self-smart. They understand their own self and feelings, and that person might be an entrepreneur, a psychologist, etc. Spatial intelligence is someone that thinks in 3 dimensions, and they enjoy jigsaw puzzles or spend time reading and drawing. I tested my brother the other day to see what his results would be as far as these types of intelligence. And as you can see, he was 100% kinesthetic, which actually made perfect sense because in the future he wants to be a firefighter. And so if he would have known this from a younger age, he might have been able to work on that type of intelligence and grow and challenge himself in that area. But because he had to wait until middle school or high school, he no longer was able to get as far ahead as he might have been able to. So there are ways that we can solve these issues in our school system. A solution would be to set aside 20 minutes a day and have students work on a project that is specific to their type of intelligence every single quarter. So that way they would be able to learn more about that kind of intelligence and more about themselves. Another option would be students having a chance to work with each other on a project where each type of intelligence was used so that they could grow in that area. They would learn how to fail, how to get back up, and how to win. By having students discover their specific interests and intelligence, we will have a better society in the future. These gifted programs in our elementary schools are harmful to students and limit our society in the future. They do this by telling students who do not fit that mold that they will not be successful, and the expectation for these students is lower, making them not reach the greatness that they are capable of. But by having children learn in what their personal interests are and what they excel in, we will have a brighter society in the future.
Audience.